What's up, beautiful people? Today we're going to be checking out Ben Shapiro's thoughts on Argentina's new president, Javier Milei. Let's get to it.
Good news from Argentina. Cool things happening there. Last night, Argentina shocked the world by electing a libertarian outsider named Javier Milei. Now, Milei is by far the most entertaining person in the world. I mean, on the planet. Javier Milei, this guy is wildly entertaining. Not only because he happens to be extremely conservative. When we say he's libertarian, not an abortion he ain't.
Did you guys ever read what is on his cup? It says leftist tears. Let me know if you had seen that.
Javier, this guy is wildly entertaining. Not only because he happens to be extremely conservative. When we say he's libertarian, not an abortion he ain't. He is a full-scale proponent of the pro-life position, for example. He also does not happen to be particularly libertarian on certain forms of drug use, for example. So the description of him as a libertarian is not quite right. He's actually just a classical liberal with very conservative undertones in terms of religion and the importance of culture.
He said in an interview with Tucker Carlson that libertarian means something different in America than it means to them. So I feel like to him, libertarian means conservative, because he sounds very conservative, honestly. And when he spoke about being against the abortion, he said that biology or science has proven that life begins at conception, which means the baby in the woman or in the mother, it's a different life from the mother's life, and the body is different from the mother's body. So if you kill that body, you have killed somebody. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he was explaining to Tucker Carlson in an interview. He was sharing why he doesn't support abortion. He said the baby is not part of your body, it's a different body. So if you kill it, you've killed somebody. And that's murder.
He's great, in other words. So he won a huge victory yesterday in Argentina's presidential election, vowing to halt decades of economic decline in a country reeling from triple-digit inflation. Inflation right now is at 143%.
True. Which
means that pretty much every day, everything gets more expensive. And that becomes a spiral. This is according to the AFP. With 55.7% of the vote, Milei thumped his rival, economy minister Sergio Massa, who won 44% of the vote and rapidly conceded defeat. Milei said in his victory speech, quote, "Today begins the reconstruction of Argentina. Today begins the end of Argentina's decline. The model of decadence has come to an end. There is no way back." Latin America's third biggest economy has suffered decades of crises under interventionist governments big on welfare that resort to printing money to finance spending, fueling inflation, while borrowing heavily only to default on their debt. Access to dollars is strictly controlled, leading to a thriving black market for greenbacks. Analysts warn the peso is ripe for a sharp devaluation. So despite all of the inflation that's been taking place, actually, the peso is still worth too much money because you can't trade it for US dollars. If you could trade it for US dollars, that means the peso is worth even less money. Milei's main platform has been a plan to ditch the peso for the US dollar and dynamite the central bank to do away with the cancer of inflation. Now, the problem is they don't have enough dollars to inject into the economy right away. So in order to really do that, they're going to have to reestablish credit worthiness. They're probably going to have to borrow a bunch of new money from the IMF, from the International Monetary Fund. However, Milei is just the guy to do this sort of stuff. He is incredibly bold. He also has suggested that he wants to cut ties on a governmental level with Brazil and China, saying he would not do business with communists. Now, it's going to be rough on an interpersonal and business level to do that sort of thing. And he has vowed that he's not going to do that. However, he is very much oriented toward the West, which means that the press hate him. That's the way that this works. If you're Jair Bolsonaro and you're very oriented toward the West, you like the United States, for example, you like Israel, you like Europe, that means that you're super bad. If you're Lula da Silva, who is an actual tyrant in Brazil and who loves Russia and who loves China and who loves Iran, then you're good, according to the international press. Again, the media, the international media, are a smoking garbage heap, or run by activists from the left, which is why they hate Javier Milei. Think about the memories you're going to make during these holidays with those you love. Those moments around the dinner table, flag football out in the yard, or a 5K turkey trot early in the morning. Now, imagine being able to relive those holidays. I want to play some clips of Javier Milei because he is wildly entertaining. So I'm going to translate. Not that I speak Spanish, but the translations are available. Here is Javier Milei recently in an interview about the left. And man, he's the most memeable person alive.
Al zurdo de no le podés dar ni un milímetro.
Says you can't give leftards an inch. Can you define? Leftist is all collectivists, all kinds of collectivists. But why do you call them, she asks? Because they are, he says. If you think differently from them, she says, he says they will kill you. This is the point. You can't give leftists an inch. If you give them an inch, they will use it to destroy you. You can't negotiate with leftards. You don't negotiate with trash because they will end you. Okay, so that is who just got elected, the president of Argentina. Again, very much oriented.
I thought he was going to play the one where he was talking about the bureaucracy and taking out bureaucracy. So they have a Ministry of Gender and Women Studies, and they have a central bank and all of those different ministries. And he was on the board. There's Aquila means out. Aquila. Yeah, no, he's very funny. He's a very funny guy.
Toward the United States. Here he was talking about his agenda. This one is a little bit less colorful.
Nuestros ejes fundamentales son el libre comercio, la paz,
our fundamental axes are free trade, peace, freedom, and aligning ourselves with the West. Where the highest references in this, for us, are the United States and Israel. And as for China, asked Bloomberg News, is it one of the main trading partners? As well, they will be business partners of the private sector. We do not make a pact with communists. But then what would you do? In other words, would it not close Argentina's relations with China? He says, I would not promote relations with communists, nor with Cuba, nor with Venezuela, nor with North Korea, nor with Nicaragua, nor with China. And so for Venezuela, you're changing policy, he says, obviously. Love it. Love it. And by the way, it's going to be a test of the Biden administration as to what they do with this guy, because if they do not immediately bring Milei and Argentina into the fold, it is proof positive that this administration does not give a damn about pro-America sentiments in Latin and South America. This guy is begging for Argentina to make great friends with the United States. If Biden somehow rejects that on behalf of the international leftism, it demonstrates full scale the impact of a foreign policy rooted in leftist nonsense. Meanwhile, here's Milei on dollarization. That, of course, would be the transfer away from the absolutely worthless Argentinian peso and toward the American dollar.
I think there's a previous discussion about dollarization. Actually, strictly speaking, it's to get rid of the central bank. The dollarization is an instrumental issue at the end of the day. There are four argumentative axes. One has to do with a moral issue, which is that stealing is wrong. And seigniorage is nothing more or less than a swindle by politicians against good people. Therefore, let's say if we consider that stealing is wrong, one of the greatest thieves in the history of mankind is the central bank. The second point has to do with a technical issue, because in the Argentine case, it is more evident when a product has no demand, its price is zero. So, if the local currency has no demand, and its price should be zero, the equilibrium real balances are zero. Whatever amount of money a central bank wishes to impose, the counterpart is that the price level is infinite. Demand and its price should be zero. Equilibrium, real balances are zero. Whatever amount of money a central bank wants to impose, the flip side is that the price level has infinity.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, he's an economist as well. I think he was a soccer player, an economist. His resume is kind of interesting. He's basically a celebrity. That's why people refer to him as the Argentinian Trump. Also, he talks like Trump. You know, the mouth constructor. I don't know how they do it. But he talks like Trump, has the hair like Trump, and the messaging almost similar to what Trump might say or how Trump might portray it. Anyways, let me know what you think about Javier Milei. He I think still in the interview with Tucker Carlson, he spoke about the Pope Francis. He said his agenda, just paraphrasing, but he said the Pope's agenda is politically based. And he mentioned that he is in business or in dealings with communists and murderers. He said a lot of things, because I think Tucker Carlson had asked that the Pope Francis is not supporting Javier Milei, and Javier, said that the Pope supports communists, and he's not one. Let me know what you think. I wish him all the best. Why I wish him all the best is not necessarily because of him. It's because of the people of Argentina. Because if the president or the leader does well, that should mean the people would do well. So Basically, I'm wishing the people of Argentina well, and I hope their leadership is able to help them. Inflation at 143%. That's wild. People are even comparing the inflation to what happened in Zimbabwe. I don't know if you guys knew or heard about what happened in Zimbabwe. People were taking wheelbarrow full of money to buy groceries. And when I mean groceries, I'm not saying a lot like Bonvita, milk, sugar, eggs. But people would literally take wheelbarrow full of money to go buy those things. It was wild. So if they are comparing Argentina to that, they need urgent help in Argentina. Anyways, share your thoughts on that. I'll end the video right there. If you want to check out Ben Shapiro's channel, the link is always going to be in the description. So, go check out the video. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.